Yes. Good afternoon from the DDX studios here in Pigeon Forge. This week it's time for more segments of Get Married in the Smokies, so I hope you're enjoying them. Keep tuning in as I've got quite a few more guests coming on today. It's a beautiful afternoon here in Pigeon Forge. Hopefully it stays that way. And let's roll that intro. Smoky Mountain Sounds is proud to be a community sponsor of Get Married in the Smokies. Smoky Mountain Sounds is your one-stop resource for your wedding needs here in the Great Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. You can check us out on the internet, SmokyMountainSounds.com, or on Facebook, Smoky Mountain Sounds. Smoky Mountain Sounds is a proud community sponsor of Get Married in the Smokies. Welcome to Get Married in the Smokies. My name is Ron Curvalone, your host. I'm very honored to be hosting a show that really helps weddings and events in a destination area, as we are ranked very high for destinations. We average probably between 8,000 to 15,000 weddings a year that take place in this area, so that's pretty awesome. And you've got to look at Sevier County. Yes, you might include the towns of Sevierville, Seymour, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg. But you've also got to look at the foothills and surrounding areas that really help encompass those numbers as well. So my guest right now is Debbie Kane with Laurel Strings. Debbie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So Laurel Strings, what is Laurel Strings?
Laurel Strings Trio or Quartet or Duo or Solo, we kind of encompass all of that. We love what we do. We've been doing it for many, many years. We all have a music degree that plays with the ensemble. So we can have cello, violin, or two violins, cello, harp alone, harp, cello, you know, whatever the bride would like.
So what are the different instruments that you have as far as Laurel Strings then? It's a harpist?
Harp, cello, violins. We can pull a viola in if we need a quartet.
Awesome.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is mostly what you do, is it mostly weddings? Is it mostly ceremonies?
Mostly weddings. We do parties. Mm-hmm. We've got a party booked for the Titanic in the fall.
Awesome.
And so dinner parties or dance parties, we're doing both for the Titanic in the same night. And so I'll bring in a keyboard for that, for the dance end, because I'm a pianist too. And so...
That's awesome. I didn't realize you did piano.
Oh, yes. I started out on piano.
Okay, and so you say each person who works with you has a music degree.
Yes.
That's very awesome. That's very awesome. How many events do you think you do a year then?
Oh, goodness. Gee, I didn't think about you asking a question like that. Probably at least 20 or 30, somewhere around there. Yeah.
All right. And so everyone who works with you, though, I mean, this is what you guys do, but also have other involvements and
They
interests.
do,
Yeah.
they do. Well, as musicians, we have to kind of spread ourselves around different places because music and artists, you know, you always got to have a day job,
Yes,
you know, jump through those hoops. But we also do church weddings.
Okay.
We just did a church wedding string quartet in Knoxville a couple weeks ago.
Okay. So when someone's calling you up and asking you for specifics, you can get, now you have, I'm sure, a certain repertoire that you're already familiar with, but you can also custom.
We can custom. Sometimes the bride will want, well, for instance, I did a solo cello wedding and they wanted Lord of the Rings music.
Yes, yes.
So that was quite fun, and I've got another one coming up in the fall at Cades Cove, and she wants Little Women.
Okay.
So, yeah, it can be very customizable. Or if the bride would like for us to do the planning for her, she can pick out her procession music and we can do the rest. She can say, oh, I want pop or, only religious or only classical, and we can pick music for that and take some of the stress. It's just difficult planning a wedding long distance.
Sure.
And so we like to do that for the bride if we can. Just one less thing for her to have to plan.
So then it very helps the fact that you guys, have certain songs but that the fact that you can help them and you can customize it, that makes a big difference.
Oh, yes, it does. And I have a digital file of every song we've ever done that I can PDF to a bride if she really
so they
wants.
get an idea
If
of
she
what it
really
sounds
wants
like.
to, really wants to dig through all those titles to pick, or just let us do it.
That's
either
awesome.
one.
So then, a bride calls and they're not sure, let's say, if they want a certain instrument or what. How do you help guide them in knowing what might be best for them when it comes to
Okay,
that?
well, part of that is the music they're wanting. If they're wanting, classical music, it would be better to have at least a trio or the quartet,
Right.
to have all those parts in there. So if you have just a harpist or just a solo instrument, you're going to have less harmony in there.
Right.
So that's how we kind of help
That
guide it.
actually, from someone who, I've done quite a few ceremonies where I've had classical musicians, but that actually makes sense because I don't know that I would know the difference.
Yes, and if they want some upbeat classical stuff like Anna Klein Knock music, you need a string quartet for that. It's just not going to make as much sense with two instruments.
Now, have you had someone come up to you and go, for instance, there's a group that's very popular, they're called the Piano Guys,
Yes.
or Vitamin String Quartet.
Yes.
Have you had someone come, can you do those covers?
We've done both of those
Okay.
groups. And also, we have soloists. If they want a soloist to sing, like the Lord's Prayer or something
Sure.
like that, we have a soloist that we can pull in to do that.
Oh, that's awesome. So if someone is looking to get a hold of you and like more information, how would they do that?
Well, you could contact Laurel Strings Trio at gmail.com, or you could find us on Facebook, or you could call. I'm the music coordinator for the group.
Okay.
And my personal cell number is on the card, so they could also text.
Would you give them that number?
I would. 865-604-5823. You can call or text. Text is probably better. Sometimes I'm teaching.
And it's very nice that she said that, because a lot of times people say call, and we know that texting makes a convenience and an easier way to communicate at times. So I think that's very valuable, the fact that you said that. And again, if you're looking for something different, I mean, yes, you can have a ceremony, we can have a DJ playing background music, nothing wrong with that. But really, to have classical musicians, it really brings a certain something to it.
Yes.
Because it's live music, they can cater it to what you're looking for, and that really makes that ceremony unique. And especially having a group that can do that for you, that's really, that's something special.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming on the show, Debbie.
Thanks for having me.
And is there anything specific you'd like couples to know when they call Laurel Strings?
When they call us, just leave their contact information, the date, the time of the wedding, and that helps me to go ahead and check our booking before I text you or call you back.
All right. Well, thank you, Debbie.
Thanks.
It has been a pleasure. This is Debbie Kane with Laurel Strings. Please be sure to get a hold of them. It could be a great addition to a ceremony, a cocktail hour, a private event. Have a violinist, cello, piano, and what other instrument?
Harp, viola.
Viola. I mean, so there's a good variety for you. Thank you for tuning in again this week to Get Married in the Smokies. We hope that you gained some information from each of these segments. Again, if you'd like to be on the show, please message me, Ron Crivoloni, or message Mountain Fun Life. If you'd like to see a guest on the show, let me know who they are, and I'd be glad to reach out to them. We thank you for tuning in this week to Mountain Fun Life here at DDX Studios. This is Ron Crivoloni with Get Married in the Smokies, and we'll be seeing you soon. Smoky Mountain Sounds is proud to be a community sponsor of Get Married in the Smokies. Smoky Mountain Sounds is your one-stop resource for your wedding needs here in the Great Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. You can check us out on the internet, SmokyMountainSounds.com, or on Facebook, Smoky Mountain Sounds. Smoky Mountain Sounds is a proud community sponsor of Get Married in the Smokies.